People are afraid of what they don't understand.
That right away sums up Man of Steel. Most people don't like this film because they don't understand it.
I'm here to help.
In this video, I'm going to be pointing out what makes this movie perfect to me. I will not be going frame by frame or scene by scene or a full breakdown of everything in the film. I'm just going to cover what makes it perfect to me. I remember sitting down to watch this in the theater for the first time, and I won't lie. When I was seeing Cal's ship crash into the Kent farm, I instantly thought to myself, here we go again. 20 minutes of an origin story I know like the back of my hand. And I could not be happier when I was wrong. The pacing of jumping in and out of periods in Clark's life was one of the highlights to me of keeping this entire film fresh and unpredictable. It was actually one of the things they did with Batman Begins as well, and I'm sure that's where they got the inspiration, but it works perfectly when you've heard a story told many times before.
And it's an opinion that I also share heavily. Hey everyone, this is Cubanito from Euphoric Cinema. Now I got a controversial take, but you have to promise not to get triggered. Man of Steel is a cinematic masterpiece. It is a prime example of a perfectly constructed comic book film from beginning to end. Man of Steel isn't just a flawless masterpiece of a film, but it's an underrated work of art. A true, definitive, and unique version of Superman. Superman is a character that is oftenly referred to as being boring or not cool compared to the likes of Batman or Spider-Man. And if I'm being honest, I agreed to that at some point. That is until I saw Man of Steel. What really appeals to me about this film is the grounded nature of Superman. This is why I believe that Zack Snyder did for Superman in Man of Steel what Christopher Nolan did for Batman in Batman Begins. It shows us the consequences of Superman existing in our world. All the destruction and chaos is a realistic depiction if Superman arrived on Earth tomorrow. Wherever Superman goes, there's always chaos following him. I mean, have you ever read a Superman comic? This is practically a necessity for a Superman story, and it worked. Man of Steel presented us a believable, realistic, yet authentic take on Superman. This film did for Superman what Batman Begins did for the Bat, grounding them in reality with a perfect execution.
Everyone always talks about Superman and the reason that he fails and the reason that his films can't do good and his comics can't do good is because he's not relatable. Adoptive parents / step parents, however you want to look at the Kents to Clark, not everyone, but the majority of people have gone through something similar to that. Feeling alone, feeling isolated are all things everyone goes through in life with or without superpowers.
What was I supposed to do? Just let him die?
Maybe.
People hear this scene and go up in arms that it's not Jonathan being Jonathan. I see it as the complete opposite. Jonathan has been modernized, and what I mean by that is he feels like a real parent who wants to protect his child. He wasn't saying let the people die, he's saying he doesn't know. He doesn't know what Clark is supposed to do. He doesn't have all the answers. And seconds later, Jonathan delivers one of the most important lines to this film, the line that people overlook, and one of the biggest selling pieces of my video right now. I believe you were sent here for a reason, and even if it takes you the rest of your life, you owe it to yourself to find out what that reason is. One day you're going to have to make a choice of whether to stand proud in front of the human race or not. When Clark finally meets Jor-El, we again touch on one of the most important points of this film, choice. Krypton had lost something precious. Choice is what Jor-El says to Clark. You can be the best of both worlds. For the first time in Clark's life, he understands his purpose, hope.
You will give the people of Earth an ideal to strive towards. They will race behind you. They will stumble. They will fall. But in time, they will join you in the sun.
Jonathan knows how important it is to keep Clark's secret. I've heard people say he could have used super speed to save him. Miraculous things happen all the time with adrenaline and in life and death situations around the world. And then I've even heard people say, who would go back for a dog? And almost every dog owner I've ever met in my entire life would go back for their dog in a tornado. Clark is about to use his powers to save his dad, but Jonathan stops him. Even when death is avoidable, Jonathan knows the importance of Clark's secret. How important it is for Clark to wait. Clark, in that moment, finally understands what his dad's been saying to him. And from a teenager who seconds ago said he wasn't his dad, screams in agony, "Dad, watching his father leave him.
I'm going to make them suffer, Cal. These humans you've adopted, I will take them all from you one by one.
So Clark fights him, focused on fighting Zod and stopping Zod. How is he here? Why didn't he take Zod away from the city? He said he was planning to kill every person on Earth one by one. You don't think he would just fly back to the city? Yes, I will acknowledge that Clark causes a lot of destruction too. This is the first time he's ever been pressured, matched, and fought someone without holding back. He's not even sure what he's capable of until it's happening. Think about that. His entire life he's restrained himself in almost every way imaginable, from shaking hands to opening car doors, and now he's told to let loose. He doesn't even know his full potential or abilities.
Never.
Superman makes the ultimate choice. To
Stand proud in front of the human race.
He knows Zod cannot be reasoned with. I know people like to say Superman doesn't kill. He does when there is no other way. What makes this scene perfect is he makes the hardest choice of all time. A choice we couldn't all make. Can you imagine choosing people? Ones who bully you, ones who insult you, as we've seen in this film, try to hurt you and try to harm others over the last link to your own heritage. He makes the choice based on what both his fathers have advised him on. He makes the choice to stand with the human race from Jonathan's quote earlier in the film. And he chooses to be the bridge between two peoples.
But in time, they will join you in the sun.
As he trusted his Earth father in the importance of waiting, in the importance of his choice, he trusts his biological father that in time he can show the world hope. And he can be the light to let them strive to be better. So in those seconds of snapping Zod's neck, realizes what it's cost him. He screams in agony for having killed someone, not just a person, but the last link to his heritage. So in closing, what makes Man of Steel perfect to me is it is a complex, grounded story about choice. At the heart of it, it is all about choice and the choices you make. And in the sequel film we got to this, we aren't going to go too in depth into that, Batman v Superman, we see the consequences of those choices and what those things can evolve into. So guys, this is going to wrap it up. That's my opinion on Man of Steel and why I think it's perfect. What's your opinion on it? Do you enjoy Man of Steel? Do you think it's a good film? I'd love to hear your thoughts below. Catch you next time, guys.